2, 3, and we are recording. Thank you everybody for joining my monthly Q&A. This is Monday, October 6th. It is 7:05. I appreciate you guys joining. So as I always do, let's start with answering some questions, or let's dive into what is the market doing. This is 2005. The market is up and down, left and right, and is doing crazy things. If you are in Raleigh, it doesn't mean you are in Durham, and the difference in today's market is completely different. I'm about to show you. So let's start diving in. But before we start diving in, of course, as you guys all know, I am on the board of TRIA. Stop! I shouldn't do that. I'm on the board of TRIA, of course, the non-profit organization here in the Triangle. So I want to promote some of the events. This is what's going on this week, but I want to get your attention for the main meeting. It's tax strategies. I always say that here in America, being from Europe, here in America, it's incredibly easy through real estate to make a lot of money, but it's even easier to lose it. And Bill and Laura are going to be talking about tax strategies, going to advise you on how to keep your money in your pocket. What are the best tax strategies so that you can grow your portfolio without having to pay in a legal way, not in an illegal way, of course, but without having to avoid paying. So want to point it out that it's Thursday night at 6 o'clock, and the room is filling up pretty quickly. So make sure you get your registration in before that is closed. All right, so let's get started. We hear a lot of things about the market. So we always hear, oh my gosh, the market is going to crash. We are having a lot of inventory. We are going, foreclosures are up, and blah blah blah. Anyway, there is a lot on social media. There is a lot of people out there, and maybe on my social media content when I post it, I can maybe plug them in. But there's people that are attention seekers. They do everything. They will post everything to make sure that you will they grab your attention, no matter if the data is real or not. What I try to do throughout my social medias, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, no matter where you follow me on YouTube, I try to give you the data as the data is, without any filter. So one of the platforms I'm using, and I'm actually going to their event on November 7th. They have an event in New York. They will be talking about the real estate data. They will be talking about future real estate data. It's Resi Club, resiclub.com, resiclubanalytics.com. You can join them for free. You get a free report, or you can join them and pay a little bit of a membership, and you get the enhanced reporting. Anyway, what I wanted to point out is, let's breathe, let's slow down, because yes, inventory in North Carolina, inventory nationwide is up, but inventory is still below the mark of 2017, 18, and 19. So if we are comparing today's market with the COVID market, yeah, of course, we're going to see that the inventory is majorly up. As you can see here, the gray one is 2020. So everything below 2025, what you see on this graph, is all for the COVID or post-COVID data. So if you're looking for, like, hey, let's compare a market pre-COVID, then you're looking above this black line. So the black line is 2025. Anything above there is 2017, 2018, and 2019. You did not hear anybody say in 2019 that the market was going to crash. Maybe some of those social media attention seekers, they were always screaming that, right? And as I always keep saying, a broken clock is right twice a day. So at some point, the people on social media that keep saying that this market is going to crash, if they keep saying that long enough, then at some point they're going to be right? I saw a report this week from Yahoo News that there is an economist that is even saying we as economists should take responsibility for our actions. Meaning, economists keep saying we're heading for a recession, we're heading for a recession, we're heading for a recession, we're heading for a recession. Yet they keep saying that for the last 2 years. But the data, I haven't seen official data yet from the government that we're in a recession. And you can argue that because to be officially in a recession, you need to see a decline of GDP for the last 3 months. And so you can argue if we're in a recession or not. This article on Yahoo Economic News was arguing the fact that even economists should slow down by saying we're heading for a recession, because the market, stock market, and consumer spending remains very strong. So you can argue if we're still in a recession. What I want to show you here is, let's focus on North Carolina. Yes, the number 33 is scary. Yes, North Carolina is seeing a 33% more inventory compared to a year ago, September. So we're looking at September to September, right? Is it scary? Of course it's scary. But let's put things in perspective. We are still 1%, or we are 1% over the inventory that was recorded in 2019 of September. So only 1% more. And if you would compare that to 2017 and 2018, we are below 2017 and 2018 levels. So is our inventory up? Yes. Do you have to be a little bit more creative? Are you not getting 50 showings on the first day and 20 offers that are at least 50,000 over asking? Absolutely. Do you have to be more realistic with your properties? Yes, you have to. But depending on the market, you can still sell property. And I'm going to dive into depending on the market here in a second. But in August, still sold the property in Wilmington. I was 5 days on market, and I got a close to asking price offer. So if you are realistic with your prices, if you're realistic with your product, and you know where your current market is, meaning, are you in Raleigh, Durham, Fayetteville, or any other area? If you're realistic about your prices, you can still sell property, because there's still buyers out there that need to buy a home. As a matter of fact, data shows that if the interest rate will drop to 6% or lower, that at 6%, 5.5 million Americans can all of a sudden afford a house. So we're there. We're getting very close. We're at the 6.3 rate. So we're getting closer. Now let's not forget what I keep saying is that this year, transaction-wise, is slower than 2008. And for those that haven't been joining me on these calls, just to recap, in 2008, we sold 4.1 million houses nationwide. And as you can see here from this graph from the NAR, the National Association for Realtors, as you can see here, is it here or is it up here? Let me go back. As you can see here, right now, on the pace that we're doing now, we are going to be selling 4 million houses this year. So we're selling less than in 2008. And yes, as a matter of fact, we did that last year as well. So yeah, we are in 2 years of a interesting market, in a market that is very competitive. It has to do with the fact that we come from very low interest rates and having to get adjusted to those interest rates. All predictions are pointing in the direction that in 2025, everybody is predicting that interest rates will come down. If it's on a natural way, we don't know. But just one of the things that we have to look for is that the chairman of the Fed, Powell, his position is up for renewal in May. We all know that the current president doesn't like the chairman. So if he's going to get fired, the president might be stepping in there and suggest another candidate that will drive interest rates down. Do I think that's the right strategy? I don't, because I have always said that if you look at the last 4 interest rates drops by the Fed, September of last year, October of last year, and December of last year, And then in August of this year, August of this year, or September of this year, sorry. Every time the Fed lowers interest rates, mortgage rates went up. What happened in September? September, we were at a interest rate of 6.18%. Today, we're sitting at an interest rate of 6.34%. That is because the interest rates jumped up. Now, not that the government is currently closed, it's working in our favor. Interest rates are slowly dropping down again. And the reason it is in our favor is for two reasons. The reason number one is we're not getting correct data, so the Fed cannot lower interest rates. So if the Fed lowers interest rates and mortgage rates go up, that is a good thing. Second thing is, if the government stays closed too long, if you push that out, and I think the longest close that the government had was 35 days, top of my head. Put in the notes if you know of a longer day, but the longest one that I can remember is 35 days that the government was closed. And what can happen is closing of the government can have some impact on the stock market. So by having the government closed, I'm not saying it's a good thing. Like, hear me out. I'm not saying that it is good that the government is closed. I'm just saying that it is good for mortgage rates, because the longer the government stays closed, the more people are getting worried about the stock market, and we need people to invest in the 10-year treasury. The 10-year treasury is an investment vehicle that is driven by the government. So if you want to if you don't want to invest in stocks, if you think stocks is too risky, you invest it in the government treasury bonds. And treasury, the more people buy treasury bonds, the lower the interest rates will get for treasury bonds. The lower the interest rates for treasury bonds, the lower the mortgage rates, because they go hand in hand. So the longer the government stays closed, the likelihood of a lower interest rate is getting greater. Anyway, let's look here. We see a month-over-month uptick of 3.1% in the South. Yes, we are in the South, but so is Florida. And we all hear that Florida is one of the markets that is struggling right now. Out of the four markets, we are number 3. So the West and the Midwest are doing even better than us. The Northeast, although there are some markets in the Northeast that are doing really well, the Northeast is not doing so well. I wanted to take you to this report. So this is a report with the 500 hottest markets in the nation. And you'd be surprised what you find on here. And I can actually, from experience, confirm that some of these data is actually pretty good. So first and foremost, shocking, but there's not a lot of markets in North Carolina on the market on this report. As a matter of fact, Durham is not even on here. Now, what market is on here? I can go through all 500 with you. I'll spare you the time. I know you guys have other questions, but the hottest market right now in North Carolina at number 37 is Raleigh. So Raleigh is getting up to the spot. Now, you have to look here. It's Raleigh and Cary. Cary was ranked in last month one of the hottest markets. So Raleigh is piggyback a little bit of Cary, although Raleigh sees a major uptick in activity as well. Then at number 46, you see Wilmington. But Wilmington is coming back to the list. So I dove in a little bit. So here you see Wilmington 28403 as a zip code. Later in the report, you see Wilmington 28405. So the market that is the hottest in Wilmington right now, one of the areas I am buying properties in, and I have seen great success in this market, is this market here. So just so you can know, Wrightsville Beach is here, and over here you here you have the Battleship, here you have the Boardwalk. So right here in that area, so between Wrightsville and the Boardwalk, this is the hottest area right now in Wilmington. What other properties that are noticeable. I don't think there was any other market in North Carolina that was here. Let me jump real quick to the bottom. There was one little market that I really, I even had to go to Google Maps. Let me see if I can find it so quick. Let me see here. Where was it? Yeah, here. Charlotte at 181. Guys, Charlotte has always topped Raleigh. Like in the last few years during COVID, it was Charlotte, and maybe Raleigh. Now it's reversed. Like Charlotte is not topping or trumping over Raleigh anymore. Yeah, here. Haynesville, North Carolina. I had to look it up. Haynesville, and as you can see, I already searched it. Haynesville, North Carolina, it's somewhere on the border with South Carolina, I guess, or sorry, with Georgia. I guess the reason is it's an Airbnb town, because if I'm looking at pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to move here because of the lake and how beautiful and small it is. Otherwise, I wouldn't know why this market is doing so hot. Anyway, look at this report. You can literally get this report if you type in 500 hottest markets in the nation. You get to the Triangle Business Journal, and you can get this report. Anyway, let's look real quick at some markets here. Where is the market really hot? This is, as you guys know, the TAR report. I'm trying to get the person that generates these reports. I'm trying to get him to Tria to come and talk to us. Would be very interesting because I think he can get us some real insight. And in particular, by the end of this year, beginning of next year, I think it's really important to have somebody to come and talk to us about the market. Anyway, where are the active listings? Active listings are in Raleigh and in Durham and in Fuquay Arena. Wake Forest are hot markets. What is the medium sales price? What is the medium year build? What is the average living space? You see there's a big difference between Raleigh and Durham, and then all of a sudden you see Fuquay jumping up in the square foot price. Days on the market here. So what I always do is I look for the lowest days on market. In this case, it's Mooresville, Cary, Mooresville, potato, I guess. Although maybe people from Cary or Mooresville will come after me after this recording. Nightdale is still good. So areas that are getting close to Raleigh remain very good. If you are in Four Oaks, you're hurting. And any other market here, Youngsville and Pittsburgh is hurting. All right, let's go here to the heat map. This is the heat map. So if you are looking at these zip codes, where this is Elements County, you got Durham County East, Durham. I was there Saturday. I did a show and tell. We had 18 people show up, and I told people, I said, East Durham is hot right now. And fair enough. The heat map is showing that 7703, or my original stomping grounds when I got started in 2016, is hot. Raleigh is hot. Fuquay remains hot. So, guys, this is the heat map. Here you see where are the active listings. 27526 is where I live. Up here, there's a lot of listings as well. So this is kind of the heat map. Now I hear you say, Erik, I don't have the resources. I don't want to spend money on data. How can I get my hands on data? Now, Resi Club is free, and I'm going to show you. I do this every call. I'm going to, for those that have been with me, I'm sorry, give me 2 minutes. I'm going to go and dive into my little trick. You go to Google and you type in, let me show you what I typed in. You type in Redfin and Durham data, or you say Raleigh, or you say Fuquay, or anyway, we're going to the different markets. I typed in Redfin and Durham data. The first link I'm getting is I'm getting free data from Redfin. So what is Redfin telling me? median sales price is nice. I really don't think that the medium sales price is applicable for me, because medium sales price can be kind of in the neighborhood where you are, but I want to know what is the activity in that market, right? So I want to know what is the activity doing. I see that median days on the market is 37 days, and according to Redfin, you see that that is 16 days longer on the market year over year. So last year we sold houses with 21 days on the market. This year it's 37. What we also see is that we see a big drop between May. May is normally the month in the year where we have one of the highest activities, and we see a major drop to August right now. The September data still has to come out. It always takes a few weeks in October before that comes out. And what I want to do is I want to see that how was May stacking up to the year before. So let me go to May here, and I see that this May we sold 351 units, and you can see that down here. So when I move my cursor, look at that. Last year we sold 329, and this year we sold 351. So we see an uptick, right? We see an uptick, as you can see as well, a growth of 6.7% May from last year to this year. Let's see in August. August, we saw a 0.8% increase in activity from in Durham year over year. So this year we sold 265. Last year we sold 263. So we sold 2 more homes year over year. And what you see as well down here is, pay attention, what it's showing down here is that 2024 August, we saw a decline in activity of 8.4%. So a little bit of an increase this year, but we're still down. We're still majorly down from the year before 23. So let's do that let's go to Raleigh, and then I'll look in the chat and see if you guys want me to evaluate some other markets for you. But if we go to Raleigh and we see what is happening in Raleigh, because Raleigh has making the news. Raleigh is one of the top markets in the nation. We see a major uptick in Raleigh, blah, blah, blah. Raleigh saw an 18% uptick year over year. So let's see if we see that here in the numbers as well. July was 19% higher year over year. That was a report referring to. August, we see an 11% uptick from year over year. Right. So we see that the Raleigh, we just saw that Raleigh was number 36, number 37. Was it? I got to tell you the right data. Raleigh was number 37 in the nation. And we see that Raleigh is having an increase in activity, home sales activity, 11.1% year over year. Hi, so that was it for me when it comes to me spitting out a bunch of numbers to you, throwing up a bunch of numbers, as I always say. Let's open it for questions. I'll go to the chat, and if you want me to look at any other market, I can do it with you right now. Before I do that, let me just go to a market that I'm trying to warn everybody for, that you got to be careful right now, and that is this Rocky Mount. And as you see, Rocky Mount is seeing a 0.8% increase in activity. Hold on. It's seeing an 8.8% decline from last year, and I'm feeling that. I have north of 40 properties in Rocky Mount, trying to sell a few, and it's not really going. Even in May, we saw an uptick. May saw an uptick of 18.9%, and it all of a sudden just completely fell off the map. I don't even know why, but completely fell off the map. We did in Rocky Mount, they sold 18.9% more homes from May 24 to May 25, and then in June of 25, all of a sudden it dropped by 4.7% year over year. So we're selling less homes right now than in 24. And I just told you in the beginning of the call, 2024, we already are selling less homes than in 2008. So why is this important? I'll do Lillington here, Gordon. Why is this important? It is important that I think I continue to say, and I've been saying that since September of last year. I continue to say that if you want to jump in, you got to jump in when nobody else wants to jump in, right? Like you imagine if you had to jump in during COVID, everybody was buying property, and you probably paid over. And right now, not a lot of people are jumping in, and there's less competition. I keep telling you guys that this year, and let me make sure I have the right number. I keep telling you the right number. This year alone, I have taken on 12.678, so $12,678,000 in new loans. And the majority of those loans, or the majority of those homes that are purchased for that amount, came from the MLS. So I'm finding them on the MLS, and the value of the $12.6 million loan is appraised at 19.5. So it's sitting at 65% loan to value. Next year, I'm going to be looking back at this year and thinking, oh my gosh, I wish I had done more deals. So I hope this is a motivation for you to jump in. Let's get started to the chat. Gordon, I'm going to start from bottom to top. Sorry. Normally do the other way around, but Gordon says, Gordon, come off of mute if you want to. Gordon, you say Lillington. So let's look at the Lillington market here. Lillington housing market. It's not very big. You probably have the university there. Let's look here. You see, ooh, look at that. Lillington is seeing a 23.8% increase year over year in real estate activity. Don't get too excited. That's only 26 homes that are selling. Lillington's very small market, very good market for rental because you get the Campbell University there. There's a bunch. If you are investing in Lillington, I am here in Fuquay, but I'm the last road of Wade County, so I get Harnett County water. So I am right next to Lillington. Lillington is going to experience some growth. I tell you that much. So, but yeah, Lillington was even up in May, 55% year over year. So saw a little bit of a drop in June, and all of a sudden sees a major uptick. And that uptick, not sure if it has to do with Campbell University, if there's an uptick because of the university. Let me see here. This is October, August. Yeah, you didn't see that uptick in, although you see, last year you saw July, August, and September is going up, and then all of a sudden you saw a drop in October. Let's go here. In 23, you saw the declining. So if the market continues to be like in 2024, you should expect this line to go up in September as well, Gordon. Did it answer your question, Gordon? I assume that's a yes. Here we go. Let's go from the top. Torii is saying, so during my show and tell, I took the people to one of my houses, 606 North Maple, and there were a ton of questions about it, and hence the fact that Torii is asking a question right now as well. So this house, basically the only thing that is original is the outside siding. The windows are new, doors are new, the front porch is original, the steps are original, the roof, plumbing, electric, everything is new. So Torii is asking, with your 1925 home, so this house, if you go back here, is actually built in 1920. I misspoken during the Q&A, but this home is from 1920. And so Torii is asking, with your 1920 brand new home, and considering that the property would be sold, would your plumber actually honor a new pipe warranty with the property if the property has a new owner? So during what Torii is referring to, if you do a new build with new builds, you give warranty, right? Like I think by the state, you have to give them a year warranty on certain things. But Torii, that is between you and the plumber. Yeah, my plumber does give warranty on the material, not on the labor. So the new home buyer will then be responsible for the labor if there was anything to break. So that is what I always discuss with my trade people as well. Sometimes you can consider as well. Side note, you can also consider to make them to make sure that they sign a lien waiver. A lien waiver makes if you pay people, you can have them sign a lien waiver, basically saying, "Hey, I paid you in full. You cannot put a lien against my property." And you can do the same with warranties, right? If you want to offer extended warranties to your buyers, you can basically do that through having something in written from your plumber, HVAC personal, or electrician. So Gordon is saying, are you going to send out a recap of this meeting? Gordon, there will be on YouTube. There will be, if you go to YouTube, you type in my name, there will be the full recording of this meeting will be there as well. So I hope that will answer that. The difference, Bill is saying about him speaking on Thursday this week, the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion is about 15 years. So guys, make sure you be there so you don't pay taxes. Alicia Hardy is saying, are you able to show a new construction cost for the house being built to sell for less than the 500K? Land tear down, move, drainage, architect, utilities. Okay, all right. Monday.com. So I'm gonna take you into my business. Like this is a chef taking you into his kitchen and showing you his recipe. This is my CRM system. I'm going to show you all the numbers, and here you're going to get the ugly and the dirty and everything. So I'm going to go to projects. I think what Alicia is referring to is this property. We were at this property on, and I'll dive in what you see here in a second. But this is the property that she was referring to. So we always take pictures of every step. Unfortunately, oh no, it is still there. So this was the house. As you can see here, the house is being torn down. I always call it a little, government utility truck. One of those trucks that is, if you have trash sitting next to the road, the government is using that to pick it up. As you can see, they're tearing it down. That was sitting on the lot first. Through the pictures, you can see the entire progress of the house. We were there on Saturday, showed everybody all the numbers, and this is how the house is looking now. So let's dive into the numbers here. So this is the project. My total budget is $267.03. We are already $5,900 over budget. I am still out of pocket $30,000. But let me dive into the cost over here so you can see it. DD, I paid more than that, but this is the overage that I didn't get back at closing. Architect drawings, asbestos test, permits that I had to pay, building permits, CAD drawings, surveyor, engineering drawings again, a building permit again. The demo of that house cost me $14,000, $1,404. The insurance, we did tree removals, we did foundation work, we had a change order of foundation work. Guys, if you do a flip, if you do a build, do not accept a change order without first getting the approval from you and without first getting your signature. This person knows that, so they got they did that. Framing was $44,000. Windows and roof were $26,000. Rough-in for plumbing, rough-in electric, and rough-in for HVAC was $32,000. Anyway, you can see the cost here. This is what I have currently paid. So far, my budget is $208. and so far I am at 273. Alicia, was that answering your question? I'll take that as a yes. All right.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Hey, I appreciate that. Gordon, please, Lillington, I did that. Yes, thanks. Torii, thanks. And Gordon, thanks. All right. So we always get to this point in these meetings that I think we're going to quit earlier, and then we spend another 2 hours on the call. So what are some other questions? Oh, here, Torii is asking me, what are your best photos on rental data? Is that photos instead of Godos, Torii?
I'm sorry. I meant to spell go-tos.
Oh, what are your best go-tos on rental data in Raleigh, preferable for rooms? Whew. Good question. And the reason I'm struggling with that a little bit is I am, as I said on Saturday, I am stepping away from rentals. The reason being is that I see cost of rentals rising, right? The cost of property insurance is rising. The property of taxes are rising. If I was to use anything, what I have always done is rental meter. I don't know if they changed their whole setup. If you now have to pay for it. But this is a website I have generally used. So let's use 606 Maple, right? That we just looked at. That is on the market. We are having 4 bedrooms house. I might have to start renting this out. Anyway, so here you can see, you can sign up for a free trial. You can get the full report. You can do this for apartments as well, but I'm not sure if it is preferable. Are you looking for room rental?
Yes.
Yeah. You would need to. I don't think there is a website for that. I have emailed some of the room rental companies directly. So if you go room rental companies, Raleigh or Durham, wherever you're looking for.
Erik, I can try to help you here. I do one of the house on room rental. So there's a company called Alcove, which is locally here. I don't know where this gentleman is.
Alcove here.
Yeah, so Alcove is one of them on, so you can go their website and check out how the rooms are priced. And then there's another company called Pad Split, which is also on room rentals, but they're furnished rentals and this and that. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. So I would say go with weekly rental. I mean, 180 to 240, depending on where they are, how, the neighborhood is. So just to ballpark it, you can rent a room for $800, $200 a week. So 800 is a monthly rental. Now it depends how you do that. Utilities could be on you. Mostly, room rentals are like that, where utilities are on you. So that means you have to bump it up a little bit. So you can target around $1,000 per room, depending on, bathroom is attached or not private, so there are a lot of factors which goes. So 800 ballpark, $1,000 higher on the higher side. So
cool.
Yeah,
thank you for that, Vin. By the way, Torii, are you looking for that to be as a landlord perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I was we were both in those same meetings, but I was looking for something that wasn't something that was more. What's the word I'm looking for? Something more like Erik is looking at, more standardized,
formal. So there's another website or an app, Roomster. Play with Roomster also. I just started. I think it's a very good website, but they charge a lot to landlords. So I haven't subscribed to that, but I am just trying to play with that Roomster app. So that would also give you some idea. And Torii, we can talk offline also. Happy to brainstorm with you on this, to help you what exactly you're looking for.
Yeah, so I did it for Greenville, North Carolina. Patchplat will not go there, so they have a lot of requirements. And then I got with a company, and they would give me $350 a room, and it would $350 a room per week, and that included the utility bills up to $100 per room per week. So if my utility bill was higher, then they would reimburse me for that. I personally, I did room rental in Durham when room rental was not a room rental thing yet. Everybody, I had one or two bathrooms. I had a larger kitchen. I had no living room, just a hallway, and every single room was turned into a room rental. And they each had a lock on their room and with a separate key. The reason I'm not doing it anymore is, and maybe I was just in the wrong neighborhoods, but I had very the wear and tear on the house is bigger. You don't have what I experience is people really don't care as much for the property because there's just they're not staying there as long as an annual tenant, or if you have a tenant that pays a little bit more, they often tend to take care of the properties a little bit more. So I stepped away from it. I had two properties only, and they were in Durham and in East Durham. But I personally know that PetSplit and all of those companies, they have high requirements for you for your property to qualify for that.
Thank you.
Yep. Mark is asking, are you hearing a lot of investors starting to transition to do co-living instead of traditional rentals? I've heard it more, but if I hear it, to say that I all of a sudden hear it a lot, no. I do think it is something similar to it's just a new shiny object, right? All of a sudden, PetSplit. I think what happened, how I analyze it, and feel free to chime in if you disagree, but how I analyze it, PetSplit came around, and it was a new shiny object. Instead of making $1,500 per month or to get $1,500 rent for a property, all of a sudden you were getting $2,500 rent for the property, and that was the solution to great cash flow and to offset all the expenses, all the increase in costs for your insurance, for your property taxes, and all of that. But I think what people forget is that the wear and tear is higher and all of that stuff. So do I hear that? No, I don't. In the rooms that I am in, I hear that more and more people are stepping away from rentals because the numbers are getting a little harder to work with. We spoke about that on Saturday as well. Like property taxes are increasing, insurances are increasing. So I just thought it was like the next shiny object that I heard. Now what I did hear is in 2025 so far that 89% of the properties that are purchased are by mom and pop investors like you and me, and not by the institutional investors. So I do think it is, that data is important because it shows that we as mom and pop investors are driving the market and keeping this real estate market alive, so to say. So did that answer your question, Mark? I'll see you, but I'll take it as a yes. Alicia is asking, let these people at Alcove know that I referred you. There you go. There you go. Thank you, Mark. So any other questions about rentals, about new builds? I showed you basically all my costs that I have on a new build. Is there anything else? While we're doing that, let me show you. And you can take this, take it the way you want to take it. You can take it as me taking it as me bragging, or or whatever. I just want to motivate you. I'm going to show you a good property, and I'm going to show you a bad property. Let's do that. So on Friday last week, I purchased this property. I promise you, it doesn't look like this, but it is on Glenwood Avenue in North Raleigh. The reason it does look like this from the bottom floor, look like this. The bottom floor looks like this. Yes, the kitchen looks like this. This looks like this. The top does not look like this. What happened is in the attic there was a fire. The basement looks like this, but basically what happened is in the basement or in the attic there was a fire. So this entire window up here is completely gone, and we're going to replace the entire roof, the entire structure of the roof. We're going to be replacing that. The structure engineer recommended us that we don't have to do that, but for resale purposes, I spoke to you about that. You can still sell your house if it's priced right and if it's done right. So would I have taken this roof off during COVID? No, because it was a different market. But right now, because we are in a more difficult market, I am taking this entire roof off, doing the entire reframing of it, and put a new roof on it. It will look exactly the same. I'm not changing anything about the house. I'm just giving the people a more secure home. So that. Then I want to show you here. There is a report that came out. I don't have the copy of the report, but I want to mention that because often we think in real estate, that we are alone. But in real estate, the profit this year for flippers has been the lowest profit ever recorded. So more and more flippers are currently struggling with selling properties for the price that they would thought they would get. I thought that I would sell this property for $360, but yet here I am on the contract for, I think I'm on the contract for $275 on this house. All in all, although that I think we did the right job, I did not do virtual staging. Step away from virtual staging. In a market like this, you need to do real staging. I have not had success with virtual staging. So my personal opinion, I hope it helps for you. Do real staging. When I purchased this house, I knew it was kind of on the edge of a challenging neighborhood. But I purchased this house and I thought that the market was going to be better than 2024. So I was going to be optimistic. I still bought it. There was a lot of meat on this bone. So I just took the gamble. Well, as you can see, oh, where's the price? Here we go. So as you can see, I bought it in January for $184,000. I first put it on the market for $329, already below what I thought it would sell for. But here we are, 5 months later, and I'm finally on the contract. So I was chasing the market down. I was not looking correctly at the data, because if I would have looked at the data, I would have gone here and I would have said Winston-Salem. I would have looked at the data and say, hey, hold on, 14% less property sold this year than last year. And last year was already a challenge. We are trending down. We continue to trend down in this market. So only May and June were hot, and all of that is lower. Guys, that's why data is so important. I am losing $20,000 on this house. That's why when we are talking about this house, I am not even waiting. I'm already talking to a lender to refinance this now. Why does that matter? If I lower the price on this house, then and the house will appraise for more, the DSCR lender will still say, Erik, yes, the property is worth, let's say, 500,000, but you have it listed for 464. We're only going off of the value that you have it listed for. So now you're not getting 75% of the value as your new loan. Now you're getting 75% of 464. And in the bigger scheme of things, if you're getting 75% of the value at 500, I would have gotten 375 for this house. Now I have it listed for 464, and I'm only getting $348,000. So before you start lowering the price, before you start chasing the market down like I did on that other property, think about or talk to a lender and see, can I refinance this into a cheaper loan and hold on to this property until the market picks up and then potentially sell it for more. So I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I wanted to share that with you because I'm putting more and more properties that I thought that I would sell this year. I'm putting them back into my portfolio, make them a rental or whatever. But I'm anticipating that I will sell them in the next year or the next 2 years. So yeah. Are there any other questions? Questions about anything?
Yeah,
Anything?
like when your property
Yeah,
doesn't sell, like in the situation,
Mhm.
like do you have money set aside to pay the mortgage, or like how does that work?
No, because so on my flip loans, I have on the flip loans I have it's interest payment on the back end and no monthly payments.
Oh, okay. All right. That's how
Yeah.
that works. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I never done one
So I
before.
will inquire monthly payments when I get a DSCR loan, but so I'll show you a house where I just did that on. On this house I'm showing you right now, I had to really pivot quickly before I was too much underwater. So this was one of my properties. I had it listed with an agent. And basically, like the other property, everything in this property is new except for the fireplace, of course. That's original. New flooring, new framing, new foundation, HVAC, blah, blah, blah. I quickly came to find out that I was not going to get my list price. Now they're building a Target, right? Half a mile from this building. Selma and Smithfield have been hot, not this year. So I think I had this all on the market for probably 2 weeks. Let me go real quick into the data. And right now I'm getting this rent, $1,875. Let me see here. Yeah, I put it on the market in July 10th and July 30th. I already took it off the market. But you see what I did here? Here, I knew that a DSCR loan would look at the list price. So I jumped it from 309 to 360. Unfortunately enough, the DSCR lender scrolled back a little too far and saw that I had it on the market for 309, and the house appraised for more. I think it actually appraised for this amount, but they only give me 75% based on this number. So, this is not one of my rentals. So when they move out next year or in 2 years, I'll have to do turnover, repairs, paint, and do here and there some work, and then I have another property I can sell. So, the biggest, your biggest, what is it? Your biggest medicine in real estate is always time, right? Like, just give it time. Like, if you're not selling it now and you can hold on to it, I will sell that property in 2 years for profit, and I will make money then. Yeah, of course, I got to figure out how to pay bills now, or how to figure out how to rent a real estate now. But if you can sell it, hold on to it, and just make sure that you weather in the increase in property taxes, that you calculate in the insurance that goes up. Luckily, I am making about $200 a month on this property, so I'm breaking even. Everything is new. I don't have to set things aside for major repairs. The HVAC is new, plumbing is new, everything is new. But I know in 2 years I will sell this property and be like, whew, that was a struggle in 25, but in 27 I made money on this property. Torii.
Hey, can you I may have missed this. Can you go into what you just said a little bit more about, like, how you maneuver like that? I'm guessing you might have a hard money loan on it, but you're gonna change strategies and rent it out. Like, and I think you said for your particular loan, you don't have to make payments on it with your particular loan that you have.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that loan, but how does that work with when you change that to a rental?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay the hard money loan until it sells still, or how does that work?
So anybody can get the loans I'm getting. I'm here on the TRIA website. This is the lender, one of the lenders I'm using, right? As a matter of fact, this is one of the lenders I'm using. This is my realtor I'm using. So anyway, so right, Bermuda tax advice. Those are the people that Bill and Laura on the call. They will be talking here in 2 days, right? So nasty plug, of course, to TRIA, but I'm on the board as well, and we're a nonprofit, so I think I can do it. But I have used Ryan, I have used Lauren. Like the resources for the loans that you don't make payments on are right here. Now, to your question, so you know that a DSCR loan, on a DSCR loan, you cannot have a negative DSCR loan. What does a negative DSCR loan means? Now, in this instance, we are getting $1,875 in rent. So if I'm getting a loan, let me just say something. If I'm getting a loan for $500,000 and my monthly payments are $2,200 a month, then that would mean that my income is $1,875, but my mortgage payment is $2,200. That means I have a negative DSCR balance. My income is less than my monthly payments. Lenders won't do that. Lenders will come in at 1.15 of the income. That means that if your income is $1,875, they will come in at, so $200, $215 less, 1,875 minus 215. They will come in around 1,660 for all in payments. That means property taxes. They're escrowing your loan. So they will make sure that they write a loan for a monthly payments of $1,660. So they're going to look at, if the value is really $500,000, but on a $500,000 property, you're only going to get $1,875 in income, then they're going to base your ARV, or the value or the money that they're going to give you on the property. They're going to base that on the monthly rent you're getting. They want to make sure that the payments you are having to pay them on a monthly basis doesn't exceed their rental payment. Is that making sense?
If you allow me to add, Erik, I would just say DSCR loan is based on the income of or income from that property. It doesn't matter it matters the value of the property, but as you said, it's the income you're getting, and that ratio has to be whatever, 1.15 or 1.25.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it does matter, Vineet, because if your property is only worth $180, but you're getting $2,000 in income, they're going to go. They're going off of the lower number. So if the appraised value is lower than the income, they will take the appraised value.
Yeah, but income is more important than the value of the house. What I'm trying to say is that not correct?
No, that's not correct.
Okay.
Then so they will it's 50% right? So they will look at the lowest of the two numbers, meaning if you're getting $2,000 income and your house only appraised for 180, they will base it off the 180. And because if you have a house at 180,000 and you get a DSCR loan for 8.8%, then your monthly payment to them is $1,320. If you're getting $2,000 income, they're not going to say, okay, we're going to give you, based on the $2,000 income, we're going to give you that mortgage payment. No, they're going to say, okay, the house appraised for 180. We're going off of 75. You're getting 75% of the 180. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're right. They don't look at your of course, your personal tax, your tax score comes into play, but they don't look at your income. They don't look at your CLX. They don't look at your income. They look at the income of the property. They don't need to know much about you, but they do look at the value of the property or the value of the rental income.
Thank you. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, Erik, I think I was more concerned with, okay, I have a hard money loan.
Yep.
And now I'm going to a DSCR loan.
Yeah.
Are you going back to the same lender, or are you switching to a different lender?
Different lender, or
consider like what do you call it? A restructuring of the loan, or how does that?
Just a cash out refi or a refinance.
Okay, refinance. Okay.
Loan is also a commodity. Whoever gives you the best term, that's where you need to go, basically.
So in this case, right? In this case, this one, you see my screen?
Yes.
In this case, here's literally how it happened. He gave me the loan to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And then in July of this year, I went to them and said, give me a DSCR loan. And then with the money they gave me, I said, thank you. Here's your money.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
right?
So Bel Air doesn't do DSCR loan. That's why you went to...
No.
Exactly. Yeah.
No. CLS does.
Yes, CLS does, yes.
Yeah. I literally went from one lender to another, and I did it's called a refinance. You can do a cash out refi. That means if your balance if I owned the mortgage number one, $50,000, but mortgage the other mortgage in the refinance gives me it says, hey, you can get 180. A cash out refinance, I could have taken $130,000 out. I normally don't do that because then your rates are a little higher. But you can do a cash out refi where you take cash out when you refi.
Yeah. Thanks, Erik.
Yeah, absolutely, Torii. Any other questions from people?
One question, Erik. You bought a home on Friday for 1.2 million, and you're going to change the roof. What is your strategy on this? How will you make money on this house? I mean, it's already so expensive. Just curious.
Let me go back to the house. I did not pay that. Sorry. Let me go back.
Okay.
So I told this story on Saturday during my show and tell, but this property was offered to me at $850,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was about to make an offer for $800,000. And then I slapped myself on the wrist and said, Erik, you're preaching to all these people that you have to make an offer that you're uncomfortable with. But I was very comfortable with making an offer for $800,000. Mm-hmm. So what I did is I said, all right, let me go back to the method that I'm teaching people. Let me be, a great student of what I'm telling people. So I submitted an offer and I literally closed my eyes and I hit the enter button when I hit send. because I thought she would come through the computer, grab my throat, and punch me. I made an offer for $750. But instead of coming after me, she said, "Okay, well, thank you for your offer. Would you potentially close at $785?"
Wow.
I was about to offer $800, but because I did my own strategy, now we sell. So I bought it for $785. I have a rehab budget of $185.
Okay.
My contractor gave me a quote for $155, so I have $30,000 built in
Cushion.
So I'm all in a loan of $970,000. I have an appraisal for this house of $1.5 million. This is going to be my quickest flip. I'll do a show and tell on this house next month in November, in the beginning of the month. And because this house will be on the market in November, because the Raleigh market sees two really big months, May and December. Let's verify that on Redfin, by the way.
But why is December? We'll look at the data while you're pulling the data, but why December is good?
Yeah. I am thinking that people want to, in April, I told you guys in April that there was a report that Raleigh is the #1 destination for wealthy people to move to. If you're buying in September, that often means you're doing a tax strategy. That means you have to have you need to have another loan in your books to divert some tax payment. So
1031.
Other than that, I have no reason why people are buying in. But no, okay. You see a little bit of an uptick here in 2024, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. Let's go here. Here you don't see it.
Yeah, it went down there.
Yeah.
Down. It went down.
Here it was equal, and then it went down in January. If I extend it with 5 years, here December it went up again. You see that?
So December could be an outlier month.
Yeah, December is flat here. December is flat here. December goes down here. Yeah, so there is something look, unfortunately December goes up here. Unfortunately, I can see what a pre-COVID market did, but there is something in December that you in Raleigh see an uptick. So we're going to put this on the market in December, end of November. We're going to go on the market for just under 1.5. We're thinking about going on the market for either we're going to go on the market for 1,525,000, or we're going to the market for 1,499,000. But regardless, the projected profit is decent. It's good. So
50%, right?
Let me see, 970 divided by.
I'm just adding the whole number because I'm not adding your cost of borrowing.
Yeah,
exactly. That would be very substantial also. Yeah.
Loan to value.
Yeah.
Loan to value, and this is what I want you guys to. Normally, people go up to 75%, but loan to value on average, again, for this property, my loan is 970. The value is 1.5. That is a 63%. I'm at 63% loan to value. On the $12.6 million in new loans I took on this year, I am at 64% of the value. The reason that is important, and the reason I want to mention that is all the data shows that people are losing money, or that flipping is harder, blah, blah, blah. Properties are sitting longer. You want to make sure that you only get into deals that have enough meat. I can pick up 5-6 properties a day. The amount of wholesales I'm getting is insane right now. But I'm not doing it because the margins are not there. And I just showed you that property in Winston-Salem that I'm losing $20,000 on. I am done losing money on properties. That is now my 3rd deal this year that I'm losing money on. I'm done. I am not going if my loan to the value is over 65%, I'm not even looking at it anymore. I need to have so much buffer that I can drive that price. I can sell that house on Glenwood for 1.2 million and still make money. Right? And that's what I want you guys to do. This is the year to buy properties with a lot of buffer, and now you will make a lot of money.
Fantastic. I love that.
Thank you. Laura is asking, for the house on Glenwood, did you have to come out of pocket 25%? Nope. Laura, I got a loan because I'm at 65% loan to value. The lender just said, here's everything. Good luck. You pay me $10,000 interest payments only on a monthly basis. So that's what I'm doing on that one. Alicia is asking, who is rehabbing 1670 Glenwood Avenue within 2 months and then with a rehab? I am driving that with my GC as well. Alicia is asking who is doing the work. So next year, I am considering hiring an in-house GC. Why? On all my projects, I'm paying cost plus. That means I'm paying the cost of the build plus 20% profit. So say that it takes $100,000 to fix up the problem. I will pay a GC $120,000, right? That's the 20% upcharge. So if you're doing like me, you're doing multi-million-dollar deals, bringing a GC in-house saves me money like that. So Alicia, this project is going to be managed by a GC I'm looking to hire and bring in-house and put them on a base salary. So the framers are already on standby. I'm ordering the supplies. So we're waiting from permits from the city. We're not filing building permits, just rehab permits, which should be really easy. There is a garage in the back. I'm getting all the supplies delivered to the house. I told the framer that we are starting on Tuesday. And guess what? If we don't have the permits on Tuesday, they're not going to get started. But I'm still going to pay them because I have a $30,000 overage buffer. If they have to sit on their hands for 2 days and I'm just having to pay them, that is $500 extra that I pay them. It is what it is. I will lose more money if they do another job, and I'm having to wait a week. I'm losing more money. I'm paying $10,990 per month just to hold this property, interest payments only. So 1099 divided by 30, I am paying $366 a day in interest payments on this property. I am paying my framers $250 a day for labor. I am saving money if I have to pay them a few days for them to sit on their hands. So as soon as I have permits, they're ready to go and they're going. And in the meantime, I might have them do a few other small projects. But Alicia, I hope I can surprise you in November that this project is almost done and that you'd be like, wow, Erik, that was your quickest flip ever.
Yeah, that's a smart way to do it, being that it's not ready yet. But if you don't pay those framers, then they're going to have to be paid somehow or another. So they're going to go to somebody else's project. And so then you're going to mess up your timeline, right? So being a smart project manager, that's great.
Thank you. I'm going to show you. Oh, look, I got a good project manager as well because he already has pictures in there. Look, these are pictures that I took. So this is the house now. Look. See, it's not too bad. This is the downstairs. You see a lot of custom things that are clean, not even damaged. The floor needs to be, resanded, restained. Here you see some. Here you see some damage from the dust, from the fire dust. But here it goes. Look at this. Not too bad yet. But here you see some fire damage. You see that this is black. You see that here is black. There it is.
But how did you find out about this property?
Wholesale.
Oh, a wholesaler. Okay, great.
Wholesale. You know why they came to me? They came to me because of my reputation. They said, "Hey, Erik, we hear you're always closing. Would you close on this property?" And I say yes. That's why I always keep saying to you guys, your reputation is your more than than the number in your bank account. Our picture, but oh, this is the basement. Let me see if this picture would load. You see this entire roof, how black it looks? I am not selling it like that. So although that the engineer, a qualified engineer, said, "Hey, you do not need to replace this. This is sound enough," I am going to replace it. I want a quick sale. I don't want to hold on to this property for very long. So yeah. All right. Any other questions?
That's amazing. I didn't realize that fire damage could be rehab so quickly.
It will take them 2 days to take the entire roof off. It takes them 1.5 weeks to build that frame, and it will take my roofer 2 days to put that roof on. So, in the meantime, while they're doing the framing of the roof, I have the electrician put in a new electric. I have the drywall guy, after the electrician fix up the drywall already. So there's going to be multiple people in there at the same time. But the roof is the most is the biggest project of all things. Yeah.
Erik.
Yeah.
The use of in-house GCs, does that only apply to new builds or also to flips?
Also, well, so that really depends on a good question. Really good question. So that really depends on what type of rehabs you're doing, right? Like, if you're not moving any walls, you're not doing any extensive plumbing, electric work, depending on the city. Every city has a different requirements. You should not need a GC, right? When you look at a quote from a GC, what I'm now doing also as well is like, okay, do I really want to pay 20% upcharge on landscaping? Do I really want to pay 20% upcharge for things that do not require a GC license? Or can I just say, hey, I'll do that myself with another contractor and I don't take your 20% upcharge? So you can bring a GC in-house for flips as well if you're doing enough flips that require a GC license. I'm doing it for my new builds because a new builds always needs a GC. And a average salary of a GC in North Carolina is somewhere between $120,000 to $200,000.
So can you explain again what in-house means?
Means he works for me and he is not external. He's on my payroll.
So in other words, he's your employee.
He becomes my employee. Yeah.
So now you got to go through all the paperwork and HR stuff. Doesn't that add to your cost?
Or I do him as a 1099.
Okay.
I say, hey, you're 1099. This is what I pay you on a monthly basis. And if you are finishing the project within time and on budget, there might be a bonus, stuff like that. So,
So then you don't have to worry about benefits and all that.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
basically how Duke Energy runs their business, right? Yeah. So yeah. Anything else? That was a good question, by the way. Mario, very educational. Thank you. Well, Mario, thank you so much. I always tell people, I said that to people on Saturday as well. All of these events are nothing without you guys, right? Like otherwise I would be sitting here on the computer staring at myself, answering my own questions. So I appreciate you guys showing up like you always do. I hope to see you on Thursday. I think Thursday is going to be very important for if you want to know what can I do in the big, beautiful bill, how can I save taxes? And my salary from a W-2 employee to self-employed saw a multitude of increase. I paid a lot of taxes when I was a W-2 employee, but now that I'm on my own earning more, my mother-in-law thinks I do things illegal. I can't do that because I'm on the green card, but let her think that I don't pay taxes. As a matter of fact, they even give me almost $8,000 back this year again. So it is very important that you be there, listen to Bill, listen to Laura, and we're going to make sure that Laura. Hey, Laura, if you don't want to speak, do you want to at least do some karaoke for us then?
Oh my gosh, you would not want me to do that.
Well, maybe dance or something like that. But oh yeah, and if you have, that's a good question right now for Bill. Is it if you have any particular questions for Thursday, put it in the chat, or email me at Eric@RRP Rental, and I get them over to Bill. Or Bill, if you want to put in your email, then people can ask, can let you know the questions that they have. But my questions on Thursday are going to be like, hey Bill, tell me how can we save money with this big, beautiful bill? What are some strategies that we should be considering and stuff like that, right? I'm considering buying a new car next year because I get $10,000 back. So would that be a strategy that can be beneficial for everybody and stuff like that? All right, with that, Bill's email address is in the chat, guys. So if you have questions before Thursday, email him. I'm not saying that he's going to answer them for you before the meeting, but even more reasons for you to come to the meeting because he will answer them there. Copy that email address if you have any questions. For now, thank you so much for joining, guys. I hope this was educational, like Mario said. If you have any questions, reach out to me, and I'll see you hopefully on Thursday during the main meeting. Have a good night, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.